Armenia, a landlocked country in the South Caucasus, is located at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, bordered by Turkey to the west, Azerbaijan to the east, Georgia to the north, and Iran to the south. With a history stretching back over 3 millennia, Armenia is one of the oldest continuously inhabited countries in the world, with its roots deeply embedded in the ancient civilizations of the Near East. Its history can be traced to the kingdom of Urartu, which flourished from the 9th to the 6th centuries BCE, laying the foundations for what would later become the Armenian nation. The region was later absorbed by various empires, including the Persian, Roman, and Byzantine empires, and became an important strategic point due to its location between the major powers of Asia and Europe. By the 1st century BCE, Armenia had become an independent kingdom under the reign of Tigranes the Great, who expanded the kingdom's borders to include parts of modern-day Turkey, Syria, and Iran. However, Armenia's independence was short-lived as it became a battleground for larger empires, including the Romans, Persians, and later the Arabs. A pivotal moment in Armenian history occurred in 301 AD, when Armenia became the first nation in the world to adopt Christianity as its state religion under King Tiridates III. This act profoundly shaped Armenia's identity and set it apart from its neighbors, marking the beginning of a long tradition of Christian culture that still defines the country today. The Armenian Apostolic Church, the oldest national church in the world, became the cornerstone of Armenian culture and identity, influencing its art, literature, and social structures for centuries. Throughout its history, Armenia faced continuous invasions and occupations, particularly by the Byzantine Empire, Arab caliphates, the Seljuk Turks, and the Mongols. During the medieval period, Armenia's cultural and political influence reached its peak under the Kingdom of Cilicia, a principality that flourished from the 11th to the 14th centuries, when it became a significant trading center between Europe and the Middle East. However, the fall of Cilicia and the rise of the Ottoman Empire led to a period of decline for Armenia, with large segments of the population being subjected to Ottoman rule for several centuries. The 19th century saw the Armenian people struggle under the oppressive rule of the Ottoman Empire, and by the early 20th century, this tension culminated in the horrific Armenian genocide during World War I, in which an estimated 1.5 million Armenians were systematically murdered or deported by the Ottoman government. This dark chapter in Armenian history continues to shape the country's national consciousness and has led to ongoing disputes with Turkey over the recognition of the genocide. After centuries of foreign domination and territorial disputes, Armenia gained independence in 1918, only to be incorporated into the Soviet Union in 1922. Under Soviet rule, Armenia experienced industrialization and modernization but at the cost of its political and cultural autonomy. The Soviet era also saw the Armenian people suffer from political repression, forced collectivization, and the displacement of many Armenians from their homeland. In the late 1980s, with the weakening of Soviet control, Armenia began pushing for greater autonomy, which eventually led to its declaration of independence on September 21, 1991, following the dissolution of the USSR. Since gaining independence, Armenia has faced significant challenges, including political instability, economic difficulties, and territorial disputes with neighboring Azerbaijan over the Nagorno-Karabakh region. This conflict, which erupted into full-scale wars in the 1990s and again in 2020, remains a source of tension and has led to thousands of casualties, displacements, and continued instability in the region. The Nagorno-Karabakh conflict remains unresolved and continues to shape Armenia's foreign policy and national security strategy. Despite these challenges, Armenia has made considerable strides in rebuilding its economy and society, with a focus on developing sectors such as technology, tourism, and agriculture. Armenia's population, which numbers just over 3 million, has seen significant emigration due to economic hardship and the ongoing geopolitical tensions, especially with Azerbaijan and Turkey. The Armenian diaspora, estimated to number around 10 million people, plays a vital role in supporting the country both financially and politically. The capital city, Yerevan, serves as the political, economic, and cultural hub of the country, boasting a rich architectural heritage that combines Soviet-era buildings with ancient Armenian monuments. Landmarks such as the Khor Virap Monastery, the Gegard Monastery, and the ancient ruins of the Temple of Garni stand as testaments to Armenia's long and storied history. Yerevan also hosts the Matenadaran, a repository of ancient Armenian manuscripts that preserves the country's literary heritage, which dates back to the 5th century when Saint Mesrop Mashtots created the Armenian alphabet, one of the unique and enduring features of the Armenian identity. Armenian culture is also reflected in its cuisine, with traditional dishes like khorovats barbecued meat dolma, stuffed grape leaves, and lavash flatbread enjoyed by Armenians around the world. The country is also known for its wine-making traditions, one of the oldest in the world, with evidence of wine production dating back to the 6th millennium BCE. Armenia's vibrant arts scene, including its music, dance, and literature, continues to thrive despite the challenges it faces. As a small but resilient country, Armenia has sought to navigate the complexities of its geopolitical situation by maintaining strong ties with Russia, while also pursuing greater engagement with international institutions such as the United Nations, the Council of